by staff and students, and the quality of submissions this year was exceptional, which created a very difficult task for our student staff, NUSU staff in submitting the nominations. So if you're not the winner of tonight's category, then you're here because you've created exceptional impact, which will continue to be recognised beyond tonight. Thank you to all those that submitted the nominations, to the NUSU staff who shortlisted the nominations, and of course to the student change makers amongst us tonight. The toilets are located to your right, and there will be an after party in the bar one stair up, straight after, where pizza will be served. And just one final point, there is a Twitter feed at #NUSUReps, so please do submit some tweets throughout this evening. Now to hand over to Chris to cover the format of the evening.
Cheers, thank you, Rach. I just wanted to congratulate everyone who's been nominated. It's been amazing to see how much fantastic work goes on, but that's why we're all here, so thank you for coming. Do remember, if you win tonight, you will automatically progress to the Pride of Newcastle Awards, so it may not be the end of the road for some of you. Tonight's format is quite simple. Rach and I will announce a category. We might speak briefly about it. We will then read out the nominees, and we will then firstly read out the runner-up. And if they could please come up to receive their certificates, and then go back to their seats via the photography stand over there, and David will get a lovely photo of you. We will then read out the winner. If they could also please come up, collect their prize, hopefully say a few words if you would like to, and again go back to your seats via David's photography area over there. We do have a lot of names to read out for each category, so please hold your applause to the end of each list if possible. And throughout the night, we also have a number of fantastic keynote speakers who you will hear a bit more about as the evening progresses. But without further ado, we will move straight on to the first award of the evening, and that is for the Course Rep Undergraduate of the Year. This award is given to an undergraduate course rep whose work has secured demonstrable change on their programme during the course of this academic year. The winner will have actively sought feedback from their fellow students on how to enhance key areas of their degree programme, such as the content, teaching and learning resources. They will have used this information to make a positive contribution to student staff committee meetings, ensuring that the views of their cohort are listened to and acted upon by staff. And Rach will now read out the nominees.
So the nominees for Course Rep Undergraduate of the Year are Megan Beard, Elliot Cohen-Gold, Samantha Cook, Piotr Haduchenya, Olenia Hyrenko, Fedor Koroblev, Sally McDowell, Demi Nang, Louise Peng, Joanne Pritchard, Paige Richardson-Kane, Joanna Kettle, Hans the Bone, and Charlotte White.
So the runner-up this year for Undergraduate Course Rep of the Year is Samantha Cook. Okay, so I'll give you a quick excerpt from the winning nomination. This nominee has secured a microwave in the common room, organised trips to off-campus facilities for all MAST students, and introduced information sessions for Stage 2. This person focused on raising students' motivation to get involved at the start of the year, to get their buy-in, and it certainly worked. So congratulations to Fedor Koroblev. Who, as you can see, has a photo up here because unfortunately he couldn't make it tonight, but he was delighted to win.
So now we're on to the award for Course Rep Postgraduate Taught of the Year. There are many unique challenges posed by postgraduate taught courses, and in recognition of this, The recipient of this award will have had to work closely with their cohort of students and staff to discover each challenge and bring about positive change.
And the nominees for this award are Isabel Antunia, Natasha Correa, Rachael Dry, Ian Flood, Vidya Gupta, Reepa Shahid, Jubjib Sarangnat Kongmat Watsana, and Patricia Ward.
So the runner-up for postgraduate talk course of the year is Jubjib Sarangnut Kongmun Watana.
Searching through a wonderland, it was the age of wonder, and the world had become too small to restrict the narrative any longer. Future became their destination, dedicated to.
So the winner of this award has been described as an absolute star who manages their role in a highly professional, supportive, and engaging manner. They have demonstrated interpersonal skills which are highly advanced and beyond their relative inexperience. So the winner of postgraduate talk course of the year is Rachael Dry.
Okay, hello. So I've started with a master's this year, and my course is really, really unique in the fact that I'm the only student from the UK. So it's been tough for me at times, as the majority of the students are from China, some from Vietnam and a couple from Europe. But it's been really tough, but I've learned so much from them, and it's been really great to represent them and to help them settle into Newcastle, and I'm really glad that they like it here. So this is for Newcastle as well. Thank you.
Thank you and congratulations. Next up, we have the Postgraduate Research Course Rep of the Year. The Postgraduate Research Course Rep of the Year will be awarded to a PGR course rep who has facilitated change that has enhanced the academic experience of researchers on their degree programme. Liaising with both students and staff, they will have excelled in identifying PGR-specific issues and developing positive solutions to them.
So the nominees are Sabyasaki Chowdhury, Roberto Kukiov, Tolu Kolawole, Vanessa McIntosh.
And the runner-up this year is Tolu Kolawole. This year's winning nomination read as follows. This student has been a fantastic ambassador for students on their course, raising the issues that students have wanted to see being raised and working effectively with staff to create sound solutions. They have been particularly good at feeding back to the students they represent through a variety of media, which is not an easy thing to accomplish. They are an outstanding PGR course rep for the School of English, Literature, Language and Linguistics, and through effective communication, they have achieved above and beyond what could be expected. So congratulations, Vanessa McIntosh. Okay, so Vanessa doesn't appear to be here, but we'll keep that aside for her. So congratulations, Vanessa, if you're watching at home. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. We now have the first of our three keynote speakers for this evening's event. Dr. Paul Fleet is the Deputy Head of School for Arts and Cultures, and he has previously served as the Dean of Academic Affairs at Newcastle University, London. Paul is now also the Academic Lead for RECAP, And throughout my year, I've had the pleasure of working with him on a number of issues, including the issue of lecture capture. It's been refreshing and encouraging to see how much student representation plays a part in the initiatives Paul brings to fruition. So please welcome Paul to the stage.
Thank you. And it's an absolute honour to stand up here and be part of this evening. I'd like to begin by saying a few words about the first point that's recorded in the Student Representation Policy of 2009. And now for the official voice. Newcastle University's Student Representation Policy is a partnership between Newcastle University, its students, and the Newcastle University Students' Union. Now, the aim of the policy, as it goes on to say, is to ensure that every Newcastle University student is represented in the university's decision-making process, and that every student can contribute to the enhancement of their programme and learning experience. This is key. And the key word that binds it together is partnership. The synergistic connections between staff and students are a recognised force within Newcastle University. And in the ever-changing landscape of higher education, we need as staff to continually remind ourselves of the rightful place of students at the heart of the system. We need to listen to their voices. And the best way to do this is to have their presence at every level of the decision-making process and enable them to contribute to the enhancement of their academic journey. Academic representation at Newcastle University consists of 1,300 students, meaning that there are around one representative for every 20 students across the 4 campuses. We recognise our students as partners in their education, thus allowing the university to constantly improve the services that we provide to them. Help us promote good practice across the institution. And this ultimately creates critical, knowledgeable, skilled graduates, and very importantly, proud ambassadors of our university. As an institution, we significantly benefit from an active student voice, and this, as we know, is externally reflected in the rankings across the university that places so high in student satisfaction. One might be tempted to think of our reps as a great resource for development of curriculum and for student support and satisfaction, because they give us good feedback. But I would suggest that the bonds are deeper than this, and I'll return to the idea of partnership, and that they improve the student learning experience for not only themselves, but for those that follow. And further to this partnership again, it widens when we note the benefit of a strong community of academic representatives to not just the students, but also to the staff who benefit from this strong student voice. Staff can benefit in their teaching from engagement during delivery and feedback afterwards. In our research, through research-led teaching and teaching-led research. In our administration, in streamlining and improving the mechanisms that enable study. And even in their own scholarly aspirations, where many of us would say we remain scholars and students throughout our entire career. So to conclude, I'd like to share a few of the significant achievements that have come to fruition thanks to the academic reps and their strong partnership between the people and the union of the university. The first I'd like to highlight is that there are more and more postgraduate and undergraduate conferences happening across the faculties, giving the students opportunity to present their research to fellow students. This is an idea that firmly emerged from the student body. Due to listening to the student voice, the library opening hours are now 24/7 during key periods. Finally, academic reps played a critical role in the 20-day policy on feedback, from its consultation phase all the way through to its dissemination. And this is just a scratch on the surface of what has been achieved by this voice. For an exhaustive list, I'm sure you'll have seen the website, which shows just what is happening. So thank you for listening to a staff member and a staff voice talking about the student voice. And on behalf of my colleagues across the university, I'm delighted that this evening rightly recognises the importance of the student voice and the effect that it has on our institution. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. So now on for the award for Student and Staff Committee, Secretary of the Year. The recipient of this award will have excelled in all aspects of their role. They will have ensured that all relevant information has been circulated to all committee members in a timely fashion, as well as supporting the chair wherever necessary. In doing so, they will have enabled their Student and Staff Committee to run smoothly, helping to create a positive atmosphere. Now for the nominees.
And the nominees this year for SSE Student Secretary of the Year are Amelia Chancellor, Laura Portuondo, Amy Thompson, Andrew Weatherhead, and Gloria Ang.
The runner-up for Student and Staff Secretary of the Year is Laura Portuondo. So the winner of this award was described in the nomination as having had a massive impact upon the organisation, communication and productivity of their Student and Staff Committee. They have worked incredibly hard and devoted a large amount of time to processing, administering and disseminating information, yet they have also spearheaded change and enhanced the experience of their students. So the winner of this award for Student and Staff Committee Secretary of the Year goes to Amy Thompson.
Fascination, it's just the way we feel. We love this agitation.
Wow, this is so special. Thank you. I absolutely love what I do, and I'd just like to congratulate everybody else who was nominated in this category. And I'd just like to say thank you to my incredibly supportive Department of Media Culture Heritage for fueling my enthusiasm for writing minutes and emails and things like that. Thank you.
Congratulations, Amy. Next up, we have the award for SSC Student Chair of the Year. This award will be given to a student chair who has demonstrated outstanding leadership of their Student Staff Committee. Working closely with their committee secretary and staff facilitator, they will have nurtured a positive, focused environment at meetings, providing a platform for discussion that has enabled students and staff to work together to develop positive solutions and create fantastic change.
So the nominees for Student Chair of the Year go to Lucy Beresford, Samuel Cross, Charlotte Christie, Rachel Dry, Thomas Farrer, Vijay Gupta, Alwyn Hopkins, Fedor Koroblev, Daniel Payne, Hannah Simpson, Rory Sheard, Dominic Shuan YK.
And this year's runner-up for SSE Student Chair of the Year is Alwyn Hopkins.
We've come a long, long way together.
Congratulations. This year's winner has been a driving force in SEL this year, demonstrating initiative in the launching of an academic journal and providing leadership in student-led initiatives around equality and the student voice. They have been instrumental in facilitating dialogue between students and staff on important issues, so congratulations, Samuel Cross.
I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
And Rachael will accept this on behalf of Samuel, so congratulations, Samuel.
So the next award is for Student Rep, Undergraduate and Postgraduate Taught of the Year. This school rep will have made an outstanding contribution to academic student representation in their school. They will always act in the best interests of those that they represent and will play an active role on the various university and union committees that they attend. Finally, the winner will have facilitated student-led change at faculty or school level.
And the nominees for this award are Molly Bell, Stephen Brown, Ashley Clay, Ryan Goldwalder, Izzy Joyce, and Amy Thompson.
So the runner-up for the award of School Rep Taught of the Year goes to Amy Thompson. Well done, Amy, for a second award. The winner of this award was described as a hard-working individual who improved their communication channels within their school. The aim was to raise awareness of the representation structure and form better relationships with senior staff. Indeed, they did become well-known by most and made senior staff take students more seriously. So the winner of this year's award goes to Molly Bell. Unfortunately, Molly couldn't join us this evening. However, she did give a few words earlier today. Molly said, "I very much enjoyed my time as school representative. Not only have I improved some of my interpersonal skills, but I've made a positive impact on the School of Chemical Engineering and its students. My main accomplishment was opening the communication channels between students and staff, allowing issues to be quickly resolved. Thank you to the student who nominated me and the awarding committee for selecting me as a winner. I hope the representation structure continues to flourish with the changes to school structure next year, and I wish next year's representatives good luck."
I actually spoke to Molly earlier, and she's with her mum at a Take That concert, so she needs to get her priorities sorted pretty promptly. Next up, we have the award for PGR School Rep of the Year. This award recognises the unique challenges faced by postgraduate research school reps. The school rep will have played an active role in their school and faculty, working closely with students, staff, and the Students' Union to secure change that has had a tangible and positive impact on the academic experience of PGR students. These changes may include, but of course aren't limited to, improving the provision of academic resources, contributing to the enhancement of learning and research facilities, or developing initiatives to further the career development of their fellow researchers.
So the nominees are Zayed Al-Shabani, Emma Kampiraki, Timur Osadchi, and Yuming Shan.
And the runner-up this year for PGR School Rep of the Year is Zayed Al-Shabani.
We get it almost every night when that moon is big and bright.
Congratulations, Zayed. The winner this year provided the opportunity for PGR students to provide feedback on their progression, and they simplified the attendance evidence for overseas PGR students who have visas. They also helped students with children to be recognised on a university level, and they helped provide them with a nursery on campus. So congratulations, Timur Osadchi.
I should have prepared some words to say. First of all, I would like to thank the Student Union for the opportunity to be a part of a great and inspiring team of representation in Newcastle University, for the opportunity to make our university hopefully even a better place. And there are so many challenges ahead, but I see those as rather opportunities. So, student representation, Newcastle University, keep it up, and have a nice evening. Thank you very much.
So the next award is for Student and Staff Committee of the Year. This award will be given to the Student and Staff Committee that has consistently demonstrated excellent practice during the course of the academic year, nurturing productive working relationships between staff and students. The committee will have worked together to facilitate tangible, positive changes that have enhanced the academic experience. So the nominees are
Applied Linguistics in TESOL, the Dental School, School of Education, English Literature, Language and Linguistics, Modern Languages, Newcastle University Business School MOS, Psychology and Sociology.
So the runner-up for Student and Staff Committee of the Year is the Dental School Undergraduate SSC. So the winner of this award was said to deliver professionalism and a strong focus on a productive and collaborative working environment. The group has had a very positive impact on the activities of the school and has improved both the student experience as well as interactions with staff. So the winner of this year's award goes to the Psychology Undergraduate SSC.
Nothing I can do. I'm left without a clue. She sees it all in black and white, all blue.
Okay, well, we weren't expecting to win this at all. I'm the chair, this is the secretary, and we're really proud of everything that we've done this year. We've really enjoyed it, and we're both leaving this year, but we're looking forward to handing it over and hope to continue it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. And now for our next keynote of this evening. It's actually our very current president, Jack Taylor. Not just yet, I got a couple of words, mate. Don't be too keen. I believe he'll be speaking briefly about students in the community, and there is truly nobody more qualified than he to do so. Throughout this year, Jack has been a credit to the students at Newcastle Uni and the work he has done with the community as a whole. Jack has found himself on both the positive and sometimes negative ends of community feedback, but he has made leaps and bounds in ensuring relationships go in the right direction. He did pay me a fair bit to be that nice about him, so I'll let him come up and now speak. Yeah.
I would just like to say thank you very much to Chris for that, because to be fair, in the office we're absolutely horrible to each other, so it's pretty lovely that he did say something nice, so I do appreciate it. Most of it's not true, but no worries at all. I do think as well the biggest well done definitely has to go to these two for the work on the pronunciation so far, because I'm not going to lie, I'm so glad that I'm not stood up here doing that, so fair play. So yeah, I was asked to speak a little bit about students in the community and the community, and at the moment I think it's fair to say that students as a perception haven't got the best or aren't portrayed the best at all. We're often dubbed in the media as words such as lazy, spoilt, and a big common one at the moment is like special snowflakes. And there's no doubt that these perceptions, I think, are pretty difficult for students to tackle. And these are the kind of the things that unfortunately I've had to come across in my job this year. I think a lot of people do have this perception, or certain elements of society do, and they're often the most vocal, which I think as students we then take as gospel, and that's what everyone thinks about us. This perception is alongside high tuition fees, rising living costs, and pressure from employers to walk into sort of any job as highly qualified as they expect you to do, which I think, again, is really quite unfair. So, again, I always giggle at these people that are sort of giving us this opinion, or this opinion of current students. These are often the generation that went to university for free, could have had a degree in tying shoelaces, and would have probably walked into most of the senior jobs that were available at the time. So I would just like to say, take that kind of thing with a pinch of salt. So, but in reality, like, how do we start to change this perception of students in the community? The big thing for me in all of this is your definition of community and where we fit in with that. So it's very, very easy to portray students as not fitting into residential communities and the typical suburbia that everyone thinks it's nice, easy living. Here strikes a major point for me, and that is that until the community starts seeing students as residents and as a genuine part of the community, how can we start expecting students to be atypical residents, really? This was personified to me earlier this year, so I'm going to have to hold it. I shouldn't have folded them with my pockets, so they're falling off my thing. It was absolutely personified to me earlier this year. I was sat in a meeting. There was a local resident there of an area quite close to here that I won't mention, but read between the lines, that complained to me about someone having a conversation on the phone at 10 p.m. walking past the house. And I'm not joking, I nearly spat my brew out. I couldn't believe it, because they then said to me that we should be communicating this to students and stopping them doing it. And I couldn't believe that she was expecting us to go around lifting students and being on the phone. I was like, what do you expect from us? But what it did do, on a serious note, is hammer home to me that in regards to the community, some people won't actually ever accept us as a community unless you are the community that they want you to be. But when we look at the way that community can be defined, we then start to see and appreciate the amazing work that a lot of our student representatives do across the union. For example, the number of students or representatives involved with NUSU run into the thousands, as Paul mentioned earlier, and the number of hours that you guys put in equates to tens of thousands. For example, our academic and hall reps contribute really, really positively to student experience at Newcastle. Our community reps do some incredible work alongside helping those less fortunate than many of ourselves. And our PTOs tirelessly represent so many students across a range of different areas. You guys have an incredible impact on your community. And for me, that's what's important to remember when you're thinking about about students' position within the community. It's all about how you define it and how you affect that yourselves. So I asked the question earlier about how do we start to change the perceptions of students in the community. From my point of view, the stakeholders that understand the importance of you guys in your community don't have any questions, and truth be told, you don't really need to change any perceptions there. The time, effort, and impact that you guys have on your community is phenomenal, and from a personal point of view, I genuinely can't thank you, every single one of you, enough for making my life a lot easier in demonstrating what an asset students are to this university and to the region as well. So, well done to all those involved tonight. I hope you have a fantastic evening, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Jack. You might need an armed guard on your way home going through that student area, which doesn't rhyme with Desmond, but... Next up, we have the award for the Hall Rep of the Year. The Hall Rep of the Year will have had a positive impact on your halls of residences and made a real commitment to the role. They may have been active in gathering the student view, taking these views to the student site, taking the views of the students to their site managers, and you may have created solutions to the issues raised. They may have also been amazing at feeding back to the students in their halls and promoted any changes or achievements.
So the nominees for Hall Rep of the Year are Almira Ali Mohammed Zadeh and Goksu Kandimir.
And the runner-up this year for Hall Rep of the Year is Goksu Kandimir. This year's winner ensured that issues were taken up by accommodation staff quickly and efficiently, and they chased up problems to ensure they got solved, and that they were very vocal at meetings and represented students across the whole of their accommodation very well. So congratulations, Elmira Ala Mohammed Zada.
Guess who just got back today?
Again, again. Here's Almira. Rachael with her again. Congratulations, Almira.
So next up, we have the award for Community Rep of the Year. This award is for someone who has dedicated time to community projects for the purpose of outreach or providing specific services. They may have helped to make sure that the student voice is heard in their local area or helped to solve an issue. The winner will have mobilized change for student and non-student residents of their community. So the nominees are
Yogananthan Mani and Andrew Stark.
So the runner-up for Community Rep of the Year goes to Yoga Mani. Unfortunately, Yoga couldn't be with us tonight. But by process of elimination, this only leaves us with one winner. But I'm still going to read out the nomination, abstract of the nomination, before I announce the winner. So this person has worked on many different community issues this year, from representing students at his local residents association to helping organize student-led campaigns around environmental issues. He has taken proactive steps to improve relations between students and the wider community, and has also implemented a food sharing scheme. So the winner of the Community Rep of the Award of the Year goes to Andrew Stark.
Have no place to go. Have no place to go. Darling, have no place to go. Have no place to go.
I don't know what to say really, but thank you to Kay and Jack for supporting me and all the work I've done, and I'm really proud to represent Jesmond and Newcastle students, and hope we can do more next year. Thank you.
Yes, I'm going.
Thank you, Andrew. So next, I'm proud to welcome our next guest speaker, Sally Ingram, as Head of Wellbeing Service at our university. This year, Sally has been tremendously supportive of the work of our student representatives. She has championed enhanced student representation within key university initiatives, restructuring personal tutor pastoral training to reflect student needs, and setting up working groups led by our part-time officers. Sally's years of experience in counselling in third sector organisations, combined with her emotional intelligence, has shaped her profound understanding of student needs. She has advocated change all year and is always quick to respond to student feedback. Therefore, I couldn't think of a better speaker to introduce our next set of awards for Campaign and Part-Time Officer of the Year. Please join me in welcoming Sally Ingram to the stage.
It might seem crazy what I'm about to say. Sunshine, she's here. You can take a break.
Rachel didn't tell you that I do have a doctorate in lace tying, so if anyone... Get you later, Jack. Get you later. I'm lying. I didn't benefit from a free degree. I'm not quite that old. Anyway, moving on swiftly. So I want to say that it's a real privilege to be able to introduce, I guess, the kind of background for the two awards that you're going to hear about in a few moments' time. I kept my speech quite short because I'm kind of last, and so I endeavoured that we'd be running late and I would be stopping people getting to pizza. So I kept it quite succinct. You're going to hear about two campaigns, two awards soon, the Campaign of the Year Award and the Part-Time Officer Award. And for me, the opportunity to be able to support these awards and work closely with our colleagues and our student colleagues on that has been fantastic. I've only been here a year. This is the third university I've held this post in 15 years. And this has felt like one of the most productive years of all the universities I've worked with and all the student unions that I've worked in. So so far I've benefited. I benefited as well. Rachel, she's back there with a quick glass of wine. So for me, the campaigns and the part-time officers, you play a key role in lots and lots of ways. I'm going to have to do this. I'm getting old. I can't actually see without a good light. We need a light for next year. Okay, light for next year. Okay. What I think both the campaigns do and the part-time officers do is not only meet the needs of students in a student context, but a key thing that they do is educate the university as to what students need now, the contemporary things that they need today. So you are not only educating your students, supporting your students, representing your students, but you're also educating the university, informing and inspiring policy, procedure and practice going forward. If we didn't have you doing that, we would continue to provide what we believe students needed, and for me that would be sort of circa 1982, and not how that would be today. So why is it so important that your role is there? And it's really because you have a number of things that university staff don't. So the 2008 Synergy report tells us that there are 3 main areas that the main student population are concerned about. And they targeted 3 things that they said was a priority for students. Personal issues such as friendship, sexual relationships, mental health and emotional health, identity around who you are as a person and who you identify in terms of your gender, physical health, drink, drugs and well-being. They said that was one of the key priority areas for students. I need to tell you that those priority areas don't change as you get older. I'm still interested in friends, sexual relationships. I'm just not so hot on the drugs and the alcohol, okay? But for you guys, the Synergy report said that was one of the primary areas of focus for you. The other areas they said was a primary focus for students was practical life choices. So work, learning, money, legal issues, housing. These were key priorities for you. Again, they don't change as you get older. The third area the Synergy report said was a focus for students was around time, free time, what you do with that, how you use it in a way that is rewarding for you emotionally and psychologically, travel, environment, community and volunteering, that giving back. So what we know as the leaders of the student wellbeing teams is that we're doing our best to support these priority areas. But despite all the knowledge and experience we've got, we lack a number of things. The primary thing we lack is that we're not you. And all the research tells us is that the first point of call that students go to have these areas of their lives attended to learn about them, to be informed and to be represented, is their peers. So when you look at research in terms of help seeking and guidance seeking, actually, professional services are the last places that students go. The first place they go is you. So it's wholly appropriate that your campaigns and your part-time officers represent the issues and the concerns that you have directly to you. The Corrigan report says that if your peer group is there to give you that primary education and support, you're more likely to hear what they have to say, internalise it, and then experience something that's really important, which is normalisation. One of the common things that stops us seeking support or guidance around these areas and these issues is personal shame. Shame that somehow you should be coping, shame that you should somehow know this, and that you're the only person that is lacking in some way. So this report tells us that if that comes from your peers, if your peers represent you and inform you, you will experience normalisation. This is tough, but it's common. These are priority areas for everybody and need attending to by everybody. That's why the work of campaigns and part-time officers are important, because they meet the needs of students in a way that students seek their needs to be met. So I'm paid handsomely to help students, but I'm right at the back of the help-seeking queue. Some of the evidence shows that the most important thing that we can give to students is the voice and the space to do that, to tell the university what they need and to tell each other what they need. The other thing we lack, as I said, is the ability to experience what it's like to be a student today. So every student is different and their experience is different. But what you have is what I call contemporary commonalities, things that you know to be true today. So if our university can provide you with the best student experience, it needs to know what it's like for you today, not what it was like for me in 1982, where I genuinely campaigned for jelly bean shoes to be allowed to be part of the kit for the rowing club. Okay? I didn't win. I didn't. And we're laughing, but what really interesting happened at that time was I didn't get my jelly bean shoes, but it opened up a much larger debate about the kit that was provided to the rowing club, that actually it was different for male and female students. that actually it wasn't comfortable for lots of people, that it was either gender specific or actually the nature and the cost of the kit was putting people off from joining. So my jelly bean campaign, funny and tongue-in-cheek though it was, actually led to a much broader discussion about the type of kit that group and that society should have at the time, which was good because the yellow pants were really unflattering, so we were allowed to wear shorts afterwards. And that's a small example of a silly tongue-in-cheek thing that I did when I was younger that actually led to a broader discussion around how students should be enabled to run those societies, run those groups, represent themselves and challenge the boundaries and the rules that had been there previously. So this year, what I'm delighted to say is that the campaigns have covered a multitude of important issues. I've been privileged to support those issues, but actually more importantly be informed by them. So you might not know this, but I hope you do, that the university's wellbeing services now opens 12 hours a day on a Monday and a Tuesday. Do people know that? From 8 in the morning till 9 o'clock at night. And that was directly as a result of feedback and campaigning that students provided, where they said, we want to separate our academic day, Sally, from our wellbeing day. We don't want to have to go from lecture to a counselling session to another lecture. We need you to broaden that. And that took a lot of persuading for the university. It took security, it took health and safety assessments, it took a huge amount of work, never mind the cost. But in just 1 year, we managed to open up an entire service to 12 hours a day for students, and that was directly as a result of their representation and their campaigning. So I'd like to hand back to Rachel, who's going to give you some more information about those nominations and just say good luck to all the winners.
Thank you very much, Sally. Now for our penultimate award this year, and that is for Campaign of the Year. The Campaign of the Year award will identify, recognise and reward the campaign which you believe has had the most impact. The impact of student-led campaigns is far-reaching, and it may be that the campaign increased students' knowledge and understanding of a certain issue. It might have encouraged students to join a certain support network, or it might have inspired students to campaign further on the matter themselves.
So nominees for Campaign of the Year are Beyond the Binary, Go Green Week, Stressed Out Students, and Inspiring Women.
And the runner-up for Campaign of the Year is Go Green Week.
Clap along if you feel like a room without a roof. Clap along if you feel like happiness is the truth. Clap along if you know what happiness is to you. Clap along if you feel like that's what you want to do. Here come bad news talking this and that.
Congratulations, Go Green Week. Now, as I read out the excerpt of the summary of the winning nomination, it does give it away a little bit, so try and suppress your excitement if it's all possible. The main focus of this campaign was educational and awareness raising. The impact of this campaign has also seen results locally on campus with the introduction of all-gender toilets in the Robinson Library, following on from those introduced in the Students' Union. The campaign has had a huge impact on others in the same situation, and the campaign even received national high-profile media exposure. So congratulations to Beyond the Binary.
I did not expect that. I just want to say thank you for the union for giving me the opportunity to talk about this issue, which is not visible hardly at all, but it's starting to, get the attention in the press that it needs and it deserves. Thank you to everyone who attended the Beyond the Binary Week. It was really fun. It was a really good turnout, and we made some real change that I hope continues in the next year. Thank you.
Thank you, Saffron. So finally, we are closing the evening by celebrating the work of our 9 part-time officer representatives. Our part-time officers represent different liberation and interest groups. From speaking with the other sabbatical officers, I know that we've all thoroughly enjoyed working with every one of the part-time officers this year. They've all been superb in their respective roles. But there's only one award for a part-time officer representative today. And this goes to the person that's created notable change and lasting impact in their role.
And the nominations for PTO of the Year are Sam Cook, the Chair of Student Council, Vidya Gupta, our Scrutiny Officer, Errol Karen Daniel Wood, who job share the Students with Disabilities Officers, Saffron Kershaw Me, Marginalised Genders Officer, and Holly Waddell, Student Parents, Carers and Guardians Officer.
So the runner-up of Part-Time Officer of the Year goes to our Parents, Carers and Guardians Officer, Holly Waddell. Now I'm going to read out an abstract from the winning nomination. Being in this role has developed their interpersonal and also their team working skills by working with the other part-time officers and a sabbatical team on various campaigns and issues. They are passionate campaigners of disabled rights, demonstrating how a disability doesn't have to restrict a person. From the extract, I'm sure you all know who the winner is. It's our disabilities officer, Errol and Daniel.
I'll try to keep this short because we want pizza, of course. It's an incredible honor to be, standing here accepting this award for myself and Daniel. Unfortunately, Daniel cannot make it due to illness. I don't know how well he's doing at this precise moment, but right now I just want to wish him a speedy recovery. To be fair, I've not known him for a year, and the amount of change that we've made since we met in September, and since we became officers in November, has been absolutely amazing. In the space of, 7 months? We've organised Disability Awareness Week. We've got a conference, which unfortunately we had to postpone, but we'll get around to that eventually. We've put disability on the map. There's now a society. As I've said, we've had our week. It was only a fortnight ago. So since we've been elected, we've made such amazing forward movement. And I'm sure I speak for the both of us. I mean, I hope I do. If I don't, he's going to kill me. But, I can't thank you enough for choosing us as PTO of the Year. So yeah, let's go get pizza, shall we?
Congratulations to Errol and Daniel, and hopefully we'll see Daniel very, very, very soon. With that, we have sadly reached the end of this year's awards. Thank you to everybody who's come along, and thank you to staff and students who submitted nominations. Congratulations to those nominated, and to those who have won, extra congratulations. So a big round of applause for them, please. For those of you who have won, you do go on to the Pride of Newcastle Awards. That will be another awards night for you to attend. But I would also just like to say thank you as well to all of the NUSU staff who have helped make tonight happen. I'm specifically including Kay Hatton and George Watkins, so thank you. Thank you to both staff and students for such a fantastic year of student representation. Without the partnership that we have between staff and students, we wouldn't be able to be as successful as we are in growing the student voice. I hope you will now join us upstairs in Men's Bar, or soon to be Luther's, to enjoy some food, specifically pizza, and drinks as we celebrate all of the fantastic work that you guys have done. So thank you very much.
Tremendo time.